can see, freedom always finds a way. No travel pass, no vaccine, and we're all here. All of us, not just me, not just her, him, my buddy Jer, we all made it. Why? Because when you put your mind to something, you can make anything happen. And when all of us work together, we can get exactly what we want. And I know what everybody here wants. We want our freedom of choice. It's that simple. They want to mischaracterize me. They want to label me anti-mask, anti-vax. I'm not anti-mask. I'm not anti-vax. Once again, this is pro-freedom. If you're masked, I want you here. If you're vaxxed, we want you here. We need you here. This is not about a mask or a vaccine. It never has been. We were warning about that stuff before because we knew the vaccine passport was the end game. And we warned people for over a year and a half. I warned people all over the world. And what happened? People didn't even want to believe such thing as a vaccine passport existed. They called us crazy just for mentioning the idea that our government might try to take away our freedom of choice. The idea just didn't even sit with people. And now that it's here, now that it's upon us, they changed the narrative to, if you don't support the Vax Pass, you're a bad Canadian, you're a bad person. If you don't submit to the tyranny, you're not a nice person. Well, it's time we stopped being nice. Look what nice has got you, Canada. It's gotten you Trudeau. Does that feel nice? When your leader is telling you straight to your face that he's telling you you have no choice, you're going to do what I say or else there's going to be consequences? Is that a leader or is that a tyrant? And what do we do with tyrants? We get rid of them. Unfortunately, the election is just around the corner. And they made it that way on purpose. Do you think it's a coincidence that the election happens 2 days before the vaccine pass is implemented? No. They're doing that in Canada because we're in a unique position where our population has been stirred awake by something or somebody. A lot more than other countries around the world. So they need a distraction. They need to stop us from making resistance against the Vax Pass because that is the entire goal of this pandemic. Let that sink in again. This entire pandemic has nothing to do with your health and safety. If you've been following me for a year and a half, you know that I'm telling you there's no political solution to this. I don't care who your favorite politician is, none of them are going to save you. None of them can save you. O'Toole just announced yesterday he's going to do the Vax Pass if you elect him. And he's the only other person that's literally mathematically possible to be elected. If you think Maxime Bernier is going to save you, he's not. He's wearing a mask right now. Like literally. And he didn't even get enough people to get in the debate. But regardless, this is what's going to happen. Trudeau's more than likely going to win. Then we're going to get locked down. They're going to implement the Vax Pass. And they're expecting all of us to just simply go along with it. But I did something the other day. I had a 15-hour drive, a little bit longer, from Toronto to Moncton. And during that time, I spent some of it reading the new law. Imagine that. And it says right in the law, all the things you need to know how to beat this Vax Pass. And the number one thing everyone needs to know, and the number one thing everyone needs to do, never disclose your vaccination status. It says in big bold letters right in the law, no Canadian has to disclose their vaccination status. Nobody can force you to disclose your status. But if your work sends you a little form and you're dumb enough to tell them, oh, I don't plan on getting vaccinated, now you've just given them your status. And now you've just opened up another can of worms for them to bother you. The other thing you need to know about this vaccine passport, there is no enforcement for the individual or businesses. The only enforcement is an educational talk from the bylaw or the police. So they literally need you to submit, need you to go along with this slave program, because if they can't get 90+% of the population to go along with it, it just won't work. If there's millions and millions of Canadians that still walk around and value our freedom, then they have lost. So that's why, if you've seen, they've changed things. Remember, 75% was all we needed for herd immunity. Now the new target is 100% vaccination for the adult population. That is the new target. And if you don't get it, we're never getting out of lockdown. And then, well, guess what? If you do get the 100%, not only do they get their vaccine passport because now everybody's complying, then you never get out of lockdown, because then they're going to change the goalpost again and say, now you're going to be on lockdown until there's 0 COVID cases, which we know will never happen. And if you think that's crazy, Australia got locked down for 14 cases. 14 cases, and now they're stuck and they can't go more than 5 kilometers from their home. And there's over 2,000 compliance checks daily. That's government officials raiding people's homes to make sure they're there, because you're not allowed to leave your house. And if you do, they will sentence you the very same day. A guy did it, he got caught, and they gave him 8 months in jail. All within 24 hours, he was caught, charged, tried, sentenced, and thrown in jail. That's Australia. They're already at that point. They have military on their streets. And if you think the government doesn't have that planned here, that's exactly what they have planned here. They don't expect everybody to just go along with it when they know they can't enforce it. No, they're going to get scary looking people with guns to try to scare you into taking it. Just like they're trying to get all your employers to scare you into taking it. Just like they're telling you you're not going to be able to travel if you don't take it, or go to the gym if you don't take it. Just like you're not going to be able to go to school if you don't take it. If you notice, they're trying to manipulate and coerce virtually every single person in the country to take this experimental, unsafe inoculation. One that we know has already killed thousands of people, reported. And that's like 1% of the actual. There's so many people dying from this vaccine that our own government started a program quietly where they put 75 million of our tax dollars aside to pay for the burials of Canadians killed by the COVID vaccine. So they know, and at $5,000 a burial, by the way, that's 15,000 Canadians they put a budget for to kill. To kill. But if you don't take the thing that's killing these people, you're not allowed to participate in society. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following me, then you know my message and my solution has always been united non-compliance. And what does that mean? It means everybody coming together like we see here, regardless of every type of way to try to divide us. Political affiliation, race, a religion, whether you believe in COVID, whether you're a mask wearer, whether you believe in the vax, every which way they want to divide us, they try. Because united, we are strong. Divided, they pick us off. United non-compliance was broken down into 3 phases. I broke it down like that in my book. And I broke it down like that in my interviews to make everybody understand what we need to do. And phase 1 was the global awakening. We called it the global evolution of consciousness. It was when people like me and other people around the world spoke to all of you and got one clear message through, that this has nothing to do with our health and safety, and it has everything to do with control in every way possible. That's the reality. That's what this is all about. It's that one simple little switch of perception. And as soon as that happens, it's like a switch goes off in a person's brain, and all the lies and all the propaganda and all the fear just melt away. And instead of making you upset and paralyzed, it gets you angry and ready to take action. And that's what we did. That's why it was called the Great Awakening. We woke everybody up, literally. Billions of people around the world are now awake and aware.